Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Ohio Dirt Track Podcast. My name is Clint.
And I'm Jacob.
And we are rolling along here, continue talking about some late model drivers that are coming to the Dirt Million coming up here at Mansfield Motor Speedway next week. And today we've got a Team Zero driver, Mr. Chris Madden, on the phone. I was able to get on and talk with him for just a few minutes. Unfortunately, Jacob, we couldn't get you on the phone there, man. I apologize for that.
That's all right. It was technical difficulties. It's not because I am not a big late model fan. So just watching your rumors before they start, it was technical difficulties.
As always, we are coming to you from the home of the Ohio Dirt Track Podcast in the St. Pete District Studios, downtown Mansfield, Ohio. St. Pete District Studios is a full-service recording studio that can meet any of your recording needs. Rob will get you in and get you taken care of. Rock and roll, gospel, jazz, opera, heavy metal, you name it, they'll record it. Even commercial or podcast needs. Rob has clearly made major improvements to the sound of the Ohio Dirt Track Podcast, and we want to share that with you as well. So for booking, email Rob at robinrecorder@gmail.com or find them on Facebook at St. Pete District Studios. Before we go too much further, I want to make sure that we mentioned something that happened this week. Wayne County Speedway lost a very important member of their team, Chuck Griffith, who passed away this past week. Jacob, he was a regular personality over at Wayne County Speedway, somebody that if you were there, you were going to see Chuck, right?
For sure. I mean, Chuck was always one of my favorite people to listen to. He was definitely one of the big reasons why I went to Wayne County. I'll never forget, there was one time there was like a little kid walking in that sidewalk between like the front stretch fence and in between the grandstands. Like the water truck came by and the kid got a little wet, obviously. So Chuck made sure the kid, came up to the booth and did like a quick little interview and gave the kid a shirt. But Chuck he held the microphone at a lot of tracks, places like Wayne County, Mansfield, Eldora, Sandusky, Hilltop. I know I'm probably missing a few, but the knowledge and the joy and just the passion for racing that Chuck brought each and every week is definitely going to be missed.
So we're definitely sending our thoughts out to the family of Chuck Griffith and those that had the chance to work with him. Before we get into the interview with Chris, did you get out and see some racing this past weekend?
Friday night, I thought about going to Gas City for the Boss show, but I ended up deciding against it just to kind of relax a little bit. But then Saturday night, I went to the Fremont Speedway and saw a whale of a race between, for a while it was Cap Henry and Caleb Griffith. You had names like DJ Foose, Brian Smith, Nate Dussel in there as well. So may not have been a lot of cars, but they were quality cars, and it was definitely a good show.
I noticed that you, maybe it was a Twitter status that you put up that says quality is greater than quantity. I assumed that's what you were referring to.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that. It's like, all 13 cars. I'm like, well, these are, the best cars in Northwest Ohio and some of the best cars in Ohio. So I'd rather watch 15 of some of the best cars go around rather than 30 of not the best cars. So for me, it's quality, not quantity.
So you saw some good racing over there. I believe I saw that in Wayne County. Did I see Doug Drown won another late model race in Wayne County this weekend?
It definitely wouldn't surprise me.
So you got out, you saw some good racing at Fremont. And this weekend, what do you have going on? Where are you thinking about heading?
Friday night, I'll definitely be at Attica. They're back in action after a couple weeks off of the Attica Fair. And then Saturday, I think I'm going to venture out to Indiana and chase the All-Stars to Plymouth Speedway and check out Plymouth for the first time.
So you're going to get out of Ohio and go see something different?
Just a little bit. I mean, it's still wing sprint cars and non-wing country, but it'll check another track off my list and hopefully see some good racing with the All-Stars.
We'll be looking forward to hear what you have to say about the tracks over in Indiana when you get back. Will that be the first Indiana track that you've been to?
I've been to Lawrenceburg for the Outlaw Show a couple of years ago, but other than that, other than like Indy Motor Speedway and the Supercross in Indianapolis, those are the only times I've seen racing in Indiana.
Good deal. We're looking forward to hear what you have to say about that. And then coming up the weekend after that, I'm going to stay here and go to the Dirt Million, and you are heading over to Williams Grove. Is that correct?
Right. So the All-Stars go to Pennsylvania for 4 straight nights. Thursday night is at Grandview Speedway. Friday night's at Williams Grove. Saturday is Lincoln, and then Sunday is at Baps. So we got 4 straight nights. And then once the checkered flag falls on Sunday, I'm getting in my car and I'm driving straight home because I have to be at work Monday morning.
So that'll be a 4-day vacation for you, racing every night.
Yep.
Well, so you'll be able to cover those events, and then I will be staying here, and I'll be able to cover the Dirt Million and give you guys some details on what happened there if you're not there. But speaking of the Dirt Million, I want to let you know that the Ohio Dirt Track podcast, for today's interview with Chris Madden, we have a 4-pack of Dirt Million tickets for all 3 nights to give away. So that's over $500 value. This is for the Dirt Million coming up here next weekend at Mansfield Motor Speedway. So that's 4 seats, general admission tickets for all 3 nights of the Dirt Million. And at the end of the Chris Madden interview, I will tell you exactly how you need to get your name into the drawing to win those. And we will announce the winners of that on Monday. So having said all of that, we're going to roll the interview here with Mr. Chris Madden, who is on a roll with some rather large wins in the late model here over the last few weeks, headed to the Topless race this weekend and then the Dirt Million after that. So here's our interview with Chris Madden. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here on the phone with Mr. Chris Madden. Chris, thanks for giving us a call and joining the podcast with us today. Are you doing okay?
Doing great.
So you were just telling me here before we got rolling that you are in the shop getting a race car ready for this weekend?
Yeah, we're getting ready to go to Batesville for the Topless this weekend, and just trying to get some final touches here.
So you're in Tennessee at the Bloomquist shop, I assume?
Yeah, we went home and got our car prepared, and then we come back by Scott and just giving him a hand. We got a team effort here, putting these 2 cars in each race. So, we just try to help each other out as whoever needs the help. And right now we're trying to get him prepared to leave for the Topless.
So you've had quite the last 3.5 weeks. In just the last 3 weeks, you ran second place finish to the Silver Dollar Nationals. You won the USA Nationals at Cedar Lake. This past weekend, you win both Friday night North-South Shootout and the Saturday night North-South 100 at Florence. What's it feel like being on this train right now? It seems to be rolling along for you.
It's pretty awesome. Just when everything lines up, you just have to ride it out and hope it lasts forever. But, nothing lasts forever. But, we just want to enjoy the time that we have to be on top and, make the best of it and just make sure that we do our part, not to leave anything, unfinished or preparation not as the top of the level as it can be. So we just want to make sure that we cover all the bases that we can and not interrupt and detour this train that we're on. So we want to keep it rolling, on top and hopefully get some more wins here.
So last year you ran World of Outlaws full season, correct?
We did.
And then this year, it seems you're spreading the races around. You've got some different series events. You got Lucas Oil, World of Outlaws, Ultimate Super Late Model Series, UMP. Are you kind of choosing what makes the most sense regionally? Are you looking for a certain kind of race? What's the strategy for what you're choosing to do this year?
Right now, we're just, me and Scott, just basically focusing on all the crown jewel races and all of the major events that we want to go run.
So you're looking at those bigger races. Just in the last 3 weeks, you have gotten into a different car. I know that you drove some with Team Zero in the past, and you've returned late in July. Can you tell us how that relationship started with SBR, or how it originally began, and how you ended up in a Team Zero car to begin with?
we started out the season driving for Greg Bruning out of Iowa, and things just didn't work out there. But I guess back to the Team Zero thing, me and Scott have always had a relationship, whether it was driving his cars or not driving his cars. We've just always been, close friends, and just always kept in touch with each other, and just never burn a bridge there. So it came to a point to where it was very valuable, and I guess a time of need for both of us, for myself and for him. So we just decided to put something together, and me drive for him, for his team, for SBR and Chris Madden Racing together. So we put that together and put us a schedule together to finish out this season together. And, our future plan is to get me some cars built and get me back on my own program. But right now, as of today, we're, a team, SBR and CMR is one ultimate team together. So, and our goal was to go out and run as many, crown jewels and many big races as we could possibly run and enter. And that's what we've done so far. And right now, everything is rolling great for us.
Yeah, it definitely has. It has been an exciting 3 weeks, and you're rolling into the Topless this weekend, and then the Dirt Million coming up the weekend after that. So, what are you thinking as far as how do you feel about coming back to the Dirt Million this year, 2019? What are you expecting to be different? It is a three night show. Do you think that's a better format for you? What are your thoughts rolling into that event?
Definitely, Cody Summers with the Dirt Million, which is, he's involved with ownership and our team here with SBR and CMR too. Cody is a great guy and a great partner to work with, and definitely very smart businessman. So him putting the format that he's put in there is I think a very smart plan. And for a racer, it gives us more nights to get tuned in for the Dirt Million. So any night that we can race and kind of, it's great when you can have more than one night to get prepared, and you may scratch a night and not have such a good night and still not be completely out of the show for the weekend. So, format looks great, and looking forward to getting to Cody's racetrack and racing and hopefully bringing home the money here.
That would be as you're on a roll here, it would be huge to bring home a little bit more money over the next couple of weeks. I saw the purse just breached $300,000 for total purse. I'm not sure what the exact payout for the winner would be for that, but I think it was a little over $230,000 last year, if I remember correctly, that Pearson Jr. took home. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, a 3-night event versus a 2-night event, when you're coming into an event that's over 3 days, how much can you see the racetrack change from Thursday to Friday to Saturday night? And what kind of setup changes do you have to make? What does that look like for you versus rolling in on a tour event and just doing one night and then moving on?
Well, definitely. I mean, it's just another tool in our toolbox that we get to put in there. And then, we study and analyze the racetrack each and every night. And we should, by Saturday, we should have a great idea of what the racetrack's going to do through the whole night. And it is a bonus for us to have that opportunity to be able to do that. So it's a very big bonus to be at a place for more than one night, as long as the weather, doesn't interfere, as long as we have the same weather, every day, and his preparation is pretty close to the same every day, then we have a great idea of what we're going into for Saturday night feature.
So I think I read on your site that your favorite track is Eldora, and I'm happy to see that, since this is the Ohio Dirt Track Podcast, and that happens to be one of our tracks here in Ohio. What are other than Eldora? You've got on the